I want to talk about something that's very, very important to you. And it seems like such a simple thing, but yet you will find, if you think about what I'm going to say here, that you will see really how important it is. I'm going to talk about labels. We have all kinds of labels, and we label people and we label things, and when we repeat that label back to us, we think, emphasis on think, that we know what that person is or what that thing is. But nothing could be farther from the truth. If you say John is a Christian, and everybody says, oh wow, he's a good person. Well, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. That label doesn't tell anything about his personality, his actions, his honesty, or anything else. And yet you may just have made an assumption not based on fact. The words we use are just labels. They're just symbols that we put on the things, so we think we know what they are, but we really don't know what they are until there's a great deal more investigation of that item. A person can say, oh, I saw such a beautiful rose today, and you'll say, fine, oh that was nice, but do you really know anything about that rose? No, you don't. You don't know whether it was red or yellow or pink or even dark blue. You don't know anything about the rose, whether it was a climbing rose or whether it was a bush rose. All you know is that it came from that category of flowers called rose, similar to what that person may have come from that category called Christian. But that label does not say what kind of person he is. It doesn't say that at all. And somebody being an atheist or a theist or a spiritualist or something don't carry any more weight than that Christian label does. You don't know any more about those people. So what I'm telling you to do is don't make assumptions on what somebody tells you or what you read in the paper. You'll be much the wiser for it. And if you're really interested in that person and that person means something in your life, then that label is only a clue for you to find out more information about them, which you'll have to do on your own. Don't rely on what other people tell you about others. I used to run a business, and people would come to me and say, you know, John did this or Mary did this, but I never accepted that at face value. Never made that assumption. I investigated, asked questions, and found out if that was true or not. And that's what you should do. Don't make assumptions. It's just like now we're in the middle of a big political race, and we have Democrats and we have Republicans and we have those on the right and those on the left. We have religious people who are into this, don't understand why. Jesus never got into politics, but nevertheless, we don't know anything about a person when they merely say that they're one thing or another. You know, the most wonderful thing in the world is if we would not put those labels on people. Just forget about those, so we wouldn't make assumptions about them. And when somebody run for president, we don't look at him as a Democrat or Republican or a conservative or a liberal. We look at him as an individual to find out if this person is going to do what we think is the right thing for the greatest number of people. They're up there, they're supposed to be running this country for all the people, not just the conservatives, or not just the liberals, or not just those that want to change some law and to which they think to their advantage or is to their doctrinal feelings. That's not what it's all about. It's all about doing the best for the greatest. It's a being service to the people that live here in the United States. Treat them fairly and with respect. That's what it's all about. So, going back to this other thing, a philosopher with great wisdom, Socrates, once said, he said, wisdom comes when you finally realize that you don't know anything about anything. And that's a starting point for learning, which is what you should be doing every single day. Every event that happens to you in life, every trouble that you may have, is a learning situation in which you can learn from to see, how you could have handled it better, or how you may even have caused it, or how you could have not caused it, to make yourself a better person and the others around you a better person. So I'll leave you today with this huge amount of knowledge. Don't assume anything. And that applies to newspapers, magazines, television shows. Don't assume anything until you have checked it out yourself, personally. Thank you.